Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
Oh, it's a Thursday, and it's another day of bonus content because I'm luxuriating in the Bahamas. Once again, out of the country. I'm a world traveler now. But to not leave you high and dry, I am here with some new-to-you content with our... Since it is technically the first Tuesday of the month, and on Thursdays, you would get the second hour of the show. We're almost there, except we're doing it on 5/29 instead. We have a visit from our pal, Sam, the cooking guy. Sam, I am knee-deep in cocktails and conch-based food and hopefully a lot of sunshine, although the advanced weather outlook doesn't... Let me ask you this question. Right now, in the Bahamas... It looks like there's a chance of rain upwards of 50% many of the days that we're going to be there. So I'm not going to cancel the plans. I'm not going to replan the trip or anything. We're going. Obviously, we're leaving Sunday.
Of course you're going.
So you're a guy that travels a lot. So when you go to a destination that normally you're planning a lot of outsidiness and you see in advance that the weather might be ass, well, how do you attack? What's the plan?
Listen, rain at home on a work day, it blows for the most part. Vacation rain, who cares? You're still on vacation.
Yeah.
And 50% doesn't mean it's going to rain 12 hours. 50% means there's a 50% chance it could rain for 2 seconds. So it's fine. Don't give a shit. You're getting the fucking Bahamas.
Yeah.
Eating, isn't it conch? Are you just being funny
Did
when
I
you
say
say conch?
Yeah, I meant conch.
You said conch. And while we're on spelling or pronunciation, apparently I'm no longer Sam the cooking guy. I'm now Sam the cooking gui.
Oh,
look at my name on the screen.
I know, but nobody's going to see that because it's just audio podcast. However, shame on me. I appreciate you pointing that out to really throw me under the bus, but unfortunately, nobody's going to be able to see
it's spelled incorrectly. It
doesn't
end like that.
There's a double...
that makes me wonder if it's always there. Oh, God.
No.
Made it worse.
thecookingguy.com, right?
Yeah, but that just says the cooking... Ooh.
No.
You need another G in there. G. Okay. You're going to cut all this out. You can cut all this out. Forget that you mentioned.
Why would we?
Leave it in? I don't know.
Why would we? People want to see it now, but guess what? You're never going to see this on video. You're just going to listen to us saying how bad of a speller I am this time, and it won't happen again in July when we reconvene.
It could.
So
you don't know.
Yeah, I mean it could,
might.
But I'm not. This is out of format. So anything that happens. Like in the pre-recorded show that I did with Malcolm, anything that happens here that would be otherwise a mistake on a Tuesday night, I completely discount because this is not the norm. It's not the same time. It's not the same day. We're not doing segments like we would normally do. We're just leaving.
Leave the shit in. Leave the shit in. And while we're saying shit, don't worry about the potential of rain.
All right.
Where are you going? Just who gives a shit? Nobody.
Yeah, but
you still have a drink with the little umbrella.
Yeah.
It's still going to be warm. There's still going to be sharks and whatever,
Sam, how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
You mean like if it pecked them to death?
I don't know how any other way they could do it unless they had
1,000.
It's got to be more than 1,000.
Does it? I have no idea.
I feel like an elephant could swoop its snout and kill 200 at a clip.
Sleeping? What if an elephant's sleeping? It had just eaten like a coyote, or I don't know what do they?
I mean, they eat plants.
Okay, but what if they didn't? What if it ate something really meaty and it was really tired and it was having a little nappy?
Yeah, and it was napping.
1,000 chickens all of a sudden start pecking at the eyeballs in the head.
Oh, maybe you're right.
What kind of question is that?
It's from this thing called pod decks that I've had for about, 10 years, and I've never used them. They just sit over here in the corner.
What was your guess?
There's supposed to be conversations. Well, there's no right answer. I would think there's no amount of chickens that can kill an elephant. There doesn't seem to be enough setup, right? There's not
10,
enough
000?
setup. If you have a fully awake male or female elephant, full size, fully awake elephant, you could line up 50 million chickens, and that elephant is going to stomp right through them.
There's no 50 million chickens for sure. 50 million chickens for sure taking down an elephant.
I don't think so. Because, like, the chickens can't really fly that high to get to its most sensitive areas. Are you going to ask ChatGPT?
I just asked ChatGPT. Says there's no official answer to this, thankfully. But let's play with the absurdity for a second.
Why not?
If we're talking sheer physical force, like chickens swarming and attacking, that's my view. It's not really about one chicken doing damage. It'd be about overwhelming numbers. An adult elephant can weigh 6 to 12 pounds.
No.
Okay, so skipping down to this.
6 to 12 pounds.
6 to 10 tons. Okay, so how many? Probably, here's the answer, probably tens of thousands, if not more.
Because that elephant weighs 24,000 pounds.
Okay, pecked to death strategy, maybe 100,000 chickens. Suffocation pile-on, probably less, maybe 20 to 30,000.
I don't agree with that.
How about psychological warfare? A single chicken with a knife and a vendetta.
That seems a little unrealistic.
That's great.
Wow.
Do you love ChatGPT?
I don't really use it that much, unless I need to make. Last time I used it was for my new sales reps, and I wanted to put together a training process for teaching them the federal bridge law and then the Ohio state bridge law and what the similarities and the differences were, because it's very important for trucks. So not only do you need to know what the federal law is so you don't build a truck illegally, but then if they're only going to be in the state, you need to also make them state regulated, and sometimes they're different. And if you go into different states, then you also need to be mindful of your bordering states. So like Michigan has an incredibly weird bridge law, whereas Ohio and a lot of the other neighboring states are pretty much the same. But you don't want to build a truck wrong and then have the guy not realize you built it wrong. And then when he's out with it at 2 weeks in, he's garnering tickets to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And finally, the DOT guy goes, well, the truck is fucked up. It's not built right. You needed to be 6 feet longer in order to be legal. So you need to know that shit.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's not just easy stuff.
Surprised that it would have to be longer to be legal.
Longer and overall length requires less axles for weight. We're just going to dumb it down to the basics. So that's why you see, the tractor trailer. It's got the 53-foot trailer on, and then it's only got the 2 axles in the back. Because the overall length is X, that means you can put so much weight in it. And it's usually the most weight.
That's way over my pay scale.
Yeah.
No one's.
I'm not even going to be talking about dump trucks with multi-axles and all that bullshit that we have to deal with here in Ohio. So,
okay.
All right. So I was talking to you as we were warming up here. What I thought was the most recent video was 1,000-layer potato. So first of all, and I immediately dug into the comments because that's where happiness and misery lies, both at the same time.
Not for me. No, I almost never go there, man.
One after the other. Dear Sam,
go ahead.
Why don't you buy a real mandolin? Something with safety, or wear a slicing glove. Everybody was nervous because of the way you were holding that potato.
Oh my God.
I could see where you could have lost not one, but perhaps 3 or 4 fingers in one swipe.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
I have loved that little mandolin forever.
Have you loved it a long time?
I bought it at a Japanese market.
You have
same
loved
market
it long time.
I have. Same market I bought my very first knife. Before I became Sam the Cooking Guy, I bought a $14 knife, a Santoku from a Japanese market. I still have it. It lives in my collection. I use it a lot. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, I use the Sam knives more because they've got more weight. They're better. But I do love this. This one's super light. Anyway, checking out of that store one day, I bought this little mandolin. It's ceramic. It's a ceramic blade. It's only one size, doesn't adjust. And I've loved it forever. And in my mind, when I never even questioned whether this would work for what I was trying to do this day. And it was a huge pain in the ass. I have since bought another mandolin that is, that cuts like crazy. Yeah. So not only was this old, but ceramic is not sharp forever. And clearly this thing needed to be sharpened, and it wasn't. So,
can you sharpen it?
I don't know if you can sharpen a ceramic mandolin blade. Ceramic blade knives, you have to send them back to the factory, I think. You can't do it yourself.
Ceramic blade knives are trash. If you have them, throw them out and get real fucking knives. Grow up.
Yeah. I had one years ago, and I dropped it very lightly, and the corner chipped, and they're a pain in the ass. Kyocera. It was a Kyocera knife. Do you know
yes.
Kyocera?
Yeah.
You know what it stands for?
No.
Kyoto Ceramics.
Ah.
That probably not a little known fact, but
makes sense.
I know that. Uh-huh.
All right. So after I got over worrying about you cutting off all your fingers on your hand, you subsequently made what I would say painstaking potato. You kept calling them something other than French fries. What was the name you were calling them?
Batons.
Baton, yeah. French. I love the French. So
biggest pain in the ass. Would I make it again? Probably not. It was a pain. It was a huge 15-hour pain.
But even like how outside of the 14 and a half hours in the fridge, how long did it take to cut the potatoes and then layer them in the
forever? But that's because I had a shit mandolin that was doing thin little pieces. The one I have now, I could have done it in a tenth of the time. But it's still.
Yeah.
Listen, is it worth it? No. Is it worth having it at a restaurant if somebody's going to make them and you're going to pay for them? They're going to be nice and perfect. Sure, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't do it again. I'd go triple cooked. A good French fry, I would do that instead.
Thank God you mentioned it, because I was just going to ask you. Please, for me, this is very self-indulgent. I'm sure a lot of other people already know how to do it. Yeah. I want to start making my own French fries. So can you please give me the start to finish on doing it the right way?
Well, you need a good potato. I like a Yukon Gold for that.
Same.
I don't like a russet. I peel them. If I'm going to make a 10, I don't know. Peel it, put it in cold water. Peel the next one, put it in cold water. Once you got them, I square up the sides and I cut them in the shape that I want. And I think sort of like a decent size one. You want everybody all the same size, right? So you square them up, cut off the rounded ends, and you cut your fries. Back into the water they go. I would take them from the water. I would put them in a pot, bring them to a little simmer, and I would let them go, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. You want them to start getting soft, but not so they're going to break apart. So these are triple cooked. That's the first time.
Yep.
Take them out, put them on a rack on a baking sheet, stick them in the fridge, let them cool. Could do it overnight if you wanted, but an hour, let them cool. Then you're going to fry them at 325.
Okay.
For probably, I don't know, 5 minutes. You want them nice, good, just becoming golden, not golden yet. Mm-hmm. Take them out, let them cool again. Now crank the oil up to 375. And by oil, I mean duck fat.
Beef tallow.
Beef tallow would be great. Pork tallow would be great. Like anything but oil. If you can
not peanut oil?
No, you don't need fucking peanut.
I feel like those make the best French fries.
No, it's nice. But come on, beef better than beef tallow I
think beef tallow is
duck fat
is a shame. I think so let me back up and be a little less hypocrite. Go ahead.
Let me finish. So third time's 375. That's the final fry. That's when they get golden, beautiful, crispy, and delicious. And by doing all that, by starting them in the water and then letting them cool, and then the second time is in the oil, you're going to get crispy on the outside, soft, fluffy on the inside. And don't forget, bring them out, hit them with some really good salt.
Yep.
Smoked sea salt is very nice. I'm a fan of that, and I like a lot of pepper.
Like fresh, cracked, or just the shake pepper? Yeah.
No, I don't really use shake pepper.
Yeah, I never do. Now that I've been gifted the pepper cannon, that's all I ever use.
Yeah, the pepper cannon is really great.
The best.
I shot an infomercial. Did I tell you?
Oh, I was going to bring that up.
Should we save it for next time?
No, we'll do it here. That'll be a good segment.
I don't have it.
And
Do
then
I have it? No, if we save it, I can show it. That'd be more fun, no?
Is it you did an infomercial for the pepper cannon?
No, for a product called Phenamil.
All right, we'll save it. We'll talk about infomercial and book in July.
Okay. So wait, we're going back.
I'm going to circle back to beef tallow.
Go ahead. Why it's a sham?
So I don't disagree where its level of deliciousness lies. I think.
So how is it a sham? Yeah, sorry.
I think it's a little over characterized in its greatness, number one, because it is just a fad. It's not a sham necessarily if you're making your own beef tallow. If you're going out into the retail market and buying beef tallow that you're scooping out that looks like Crisco beforehand and putting in a pot and you're going to fry these fries,
yeah,
I think you live in a different income bracket. Money isn't an object. I don't think you're gaining that much more of a noticeable benefit, and you are paying more to be in the I have this cool kids club than you really can understand from a culinary perspective. My take.
I can't disagree. Look, I'm not, my electric fryer does not have beef tallow in it. There's oil.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you got an option and you're going to do, a couple portions of chips for you and your partner, you got a little pot with duck fat in it, I'd be all over that. That'd be my thing.
Yeah. Again, if you make
Flavor.
it, I know a lot of people that do a lot of brisket cooking, and they take their trimmings and immediately they're constantly making beef tallow.
And then you get yourself a lot. Yeah, but you're not getting duck. I mean, where are you getting duck fat from? You know how much duck you need to do
I
that?
don't know. I only know the duck fat that comes in that spray can.
Yeah.
And then you would have to have a 1,000 spray cans.
1,000 ducks.
How many cans of duck fat would it take to kill an elephant?
I was just thinking. I think if you had 500,000 cans being thrown by 500,000 people, you could probably kill the thing.
Sam,
why are we killing elephants?
I don't know. It was the question on the card.
Such a nice, big, beautiful animal.
100% yes or 100% no. You have already purchased Stephen Reichlin's new book, Project Griddle. No, you couldn't. Sorry, you couldn't answer fast enough.
Well, I haven't.
All right. Are you considering it?
I don't really buy cookbooks. People give them to me. I'm trying to look around.
Yeah, well, that's funny that you mentioned that because I have Stephen Reichlin on my show every quarter and for many years every month, and I have 0 new cookbook from Stephen Reichlin.
Here's the last cookbook I bought, and this was in
Sumac,
Iceland.
Is that about trees?
Oh no, it's a food book. There's a restaurant that we went to that I was so taken with it. We loved it so much that I bought the book.
Wow.
I don't think I've cracked it
the second time.
This is maybe on the plane coming back.
Yeah.
And that's it. What else have I got? No, I'm looking at 3 cookbooks right in front of me that my literary agent gave me. 2 from clients and 1 because she thought I would like it.
Here's the next question. It's not an assurity question. This is what we call a payoff question. You would recall when you were on as a sit-in a couple months ago for the Embedded Correspondence, there was a bet or an assurity question that said, Sam the Cooking Guy's YouTube channel will hit 4 million subscribers by the beginning of May. And we are well through the end of May. As of earlier today, you're 3.81 million subscribers. So a huge number short of 4 million YouTube subscribers. And
100%.
Our Tennessee embedded correspondent, Matt Osmond, said he thought you were definitely going to get there by May, if not before, and that if he didn't, or if you didn't, he would pay you $2,000 in a.
I don't have it.
He didn't pay off?
Nothing.
Deadbeat.
Nothing.
I'm going to have to bring Steve Ray back on for being the official Tennessee embedded correspondent. Steve has never not paid off on a bet.
Listen, what are we if we are not men of our word?
I don't know.
I tell my kids that.
There are rules.
When they were little, I don't want to do that. Did you say you were going to? Yes. Then you're going. You're going to the party or whatever you said you were going to do. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You say it, you do it.
Word is bond.
Of course it is.
Well, I'll give Matt until the beginning of July to pay off.
Yeah, give Matt till the beginning of May of next year.
I mean, like Sam might have this money earmarked for something, Matt, so you're causing him to have to wait. Crying out loud. Yeah.
Awful guy.
Tennessee. What are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
What are we working on from a YouTube cooking perspective? And if I might quickly follow up on that, how much are food trends in general playing a part nowadays in what you guys are deciding to cook?
I think we're foolish not to look at them, right? We really are. There's a big difference between what we do and what like the Gugas of the world do,
Yeah, the nonsense.
Guga does, I call it, car accident viewing.
Can I do a Guga impression for you in case people don't know?
Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to take this 120-day dry-aged steak that costs $800, and then we are going to put it
you're making
in
him sound
ketchup.
Asian, and that's racist. No, he doesn't sound like that.
He sounds exactly like that. Are you kidding me?
Listen.
Hey, everybody.
I say car accident viewing because it's like you're driving down the street and there's a car accident. You go, look, right? I don't know people are are making what he does. But he's got a big channel. He's got huge numbers, tons of people watching.
Yeah,
way bigger than me. So I'm just saying it's very different.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing, I won't be doing. But are we going to do the 1,000-layer potatoes every so often? Yeah. And look at it, got a decent amount of eyeballs.
Did you see the
people like that stuff?
What was the? Everybody was doing. Oh shit! Everybody was doing it. Couple weeks ago, it was in some kind of a burrito. I think it was an Italian based.
We didn't do it. No,
dish.
I don't know.
Man, what the hell was it? All I could think about was how maybe I was going to be seeing this on Sam the Cooking Guy's YouTube channel, and you would have added your own spin on it. But everybody was making it.
You know what I did? I made not for YouTube. That has been all over my TikTok or Instagram feed. A cocktail called a water hazard. Have you seen this?
No.
It's made by, I guess, cart girls are a thing. They have channels. You know what a cart girl is?
My daughter's a cart girl.
Is she?
Marley, yeah. She
so
trolls the
Marley
links with fucking weirdo pervs giving them shots and drinks.
Yes. And is she dressing...
She has a uniform.
Questionably,
she has a uniform
to encourage.
She has
tips.
a uniform that she has to dress.
Does she unbutton extra buttons? Does she?
Sam, we're talking about my daughter. You want me to come over and punch you?
No, come on. I'm just saying. I think that's part of their move.
I raise ladies.
They're trying
I raise
to
ladies, not whores.
So here's what it is. I watched this girl make it twice. The first time I watched it, I don't like anything that goes into the fucking cocktail.
Oh, not one ingredient.
Like sweet. Well, there's vodka, which is okay. I can drink vodka, but I've stopped drinking it. I don't really like it anymore. It's pointless, kind of.
All right.
But I know a lot of people like it.
Sure.
So there's vodka.
Yes.
There's blue Gatorade.
Oh, okay.
I don't like Gatorade. I'm already lost.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Then lemonade.
Right. So
then
it looks like
Sprite.
pee.
No, the whole thing looks like is blue.
Is it blue or green?
But it's blue.
Oh, all right.
Not pink lemonade, yellow lemonade.
Yeah, yellow and blue make green.
But it's mostly it's sort of half vodka, half blue Gatorade, and then the yellow lemonade doesn't change the color all that much. It just lightens it a bit, and the Sprite doesn't do anything. But she puts it in a plastic cup with a lot of ice and puts a lid on it.
Yeah.
And she does this thing I don't know if you can see it like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, the
with her
ASMR.
nail. It's a thing. I didn't know this.
Oh, sure.
I understand ASMR. I didn't know nails on something was a thing.
Yeah.
So she does that. She puts the top on it and puts a straw in it. There's something about the blue color and the plastic cup that just looked so refreshing to me.
Yeah.
I saw it. I went, that looks, I don't like any of that stuff. Saw it a second time. I made it for our Memorial Day
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Or for the boys. We all had them while we were cooking and stuff.
And?
It was good. Just one, but then it's too sweet.
Yeah, of course.
I'll never have it again. So these things sometimes get me on a personal note.
Yeah.
Not necessary. Max says, go do this. I go, I keep seeing that thing everywhere. He goes, well, I haven't. And maybe I'm a better example of who watches this channel. He goes, you've always got your face on food. So just because you saw it doesn't mean other people haven't seen it. I go, okay, good point. We just are putting the final touches on a Kewpie 100-year anniversary video.
Kewpie Mayo's been on for 100 years?
100. Yeah.
Wow.
100 years. Yeah.
Best mayo.
Yeah.
You're going to be giving away 100,000 bottles of Kewpie?
Do you know what you could win? Lifetime supply.
Didn't you already try and do this once and it got backed out on?
Me?
Yeah.
Giving away lifetime supply of Kewpie?
Yeah.
It's not me giving it away, it's them.
Yeah,
No,
but I mean, weren't you the conduit?
No.
Are you sure?
For a lifetime supply of Kewpie?
I feel like this has already been talked about and then it got walked back by Kewpie.
No.
Or did they want to give a monetary prize and that got walked back? Or I felt like there was something that you guys were going to do and then they didn't want to do it.
Anything I've said, we've done or they've done. I only do stuff that they're going to allow me to say.
What exactly does a lifetime supply of Kewpie Mayo mean in real bottles?
I don't know. Actually, I haven't asked that question.
If I eat one a week, do I get a replacement every week? If I eat two a week, am I getting two? Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. But it sounds like a lot.
When I was in high school, my senior year, I came in second place in the Kenston High School talent show, where me and two of my pals, I was the lip syncer to the rap song OPP by Naughty by Nature. I'm sure you recall that mega hit. And so I was the lip syncing rapper, and then the other two guys were dancers around me. My two buddies.
Does
Bart
that video exist?
That was in '92. There was no video back then.
Just a big giant recorder the size of TVs.
Nobody knew. Like, that wasn't a time in space where you recorded everything like these dopes do now, where they have no plausible deniability. Like, you can't. Nobody can deny anything anymore because you're always on video.
That's true.
I tell my kids, I was like, man, you guys are stupid. You guys document everything, and if the chips are down, somebody's just gonna have to pull up your phone and be like, "Well, hey, dumbass, you did it. Here's the video." I'm like, when I was growing up, there was none of that. Yeah, well, we were very good dancers.
The point remains.
The second place winner won pizza from Domino's for a year. Pizza for a year. Now, what does that actually look like? Now, this is going to sound a little rip-offish, but I'm going to tell you where it really is. One large pizza a week. So every Saturday,
that's pretty good, no?
Every Saturday, I call up Domino's, order my pizza, go get it, and the first handful of times I ate it all by myself. But
what about the two boys?
They got the same thing.
Three of you.
They got the same thing.
They got their own.
Each individual got.
Each of you got.
Yes. So.
And if there was only one of you, what if you did a solo
then it would have just been me.
Concerto.
And however many people were in the second place group got free pizza for a year.
One a week for a year.
Yeah.
Large?
Yeah, large, one topping pizza. So my topping back then was extra sauce because I liked the Domino sauce wherever we lived, Bainbridge. And
no,
just
anything
cheese.
Else?
Yeah, pizza regular slice. So it was different back then. So the point of the story is this. The point of I know, but the point of the story is this.
Go ahead.
By week six,
yeah,
pizza for a year became long in the tooth. So I got the pizza, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, if anybody wants this pizza, have at it. And, by week 12 and week 13, nobody wanted that pizza in my house. But
that's interesting.
I kept going back to get it because I want it. And I wasn't going to let them not have me get the free pizza like I was, winning anything. But I felt compelled to get 52 pizzas that year. But
you did.
Yeah, but it was only through like week 13 that I was eating by, week 13, one piece out of that pizza. I had enough of it. So where it seems like that's not a lot, right? But having it once a week, and every Saturday, like it was the whole setup. Like that's interesting. It was a lot.
I haven't asked to know exactly what it is, but
I gotta know.
Wow,
I gotta know what that looks like.
So we did 10 different things in this video. It'd be one recipe for every decade they've been around. We even made ice cream with it.
All right, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something I was going to tell you. Well, I've forgotten it, but that's all right. Can we go back to cocktails just for a second?
Go ahead.
Sam, 100% yes or 100% no. The best bourbon cocktail is the old fashioned.
100% no.
Wow, it was a split dais.
Oh, was it?
If you haven't
Well,
heard, it was in the second hour, I think.
Stand by. Hold on.
Yeah, it was in the second hour. If you haven't heard that yet.
Sam the cooking guide. Just grab us. Wait. Hold on. And that's because
I said yes. John Solberg said yes. Doug said no, and Rusty said no, and Matt said no.
And I'll tell you why I say that. It's because you've maybe never had, you don't drink. So maybe the others haven't had the fuck book is it in?
I don't know. You can just tell me. Remember, nobody's going to see these pictures that you're going to show.
No, it's going to show you. Oh, it's not going to be a picture. Bourbon Romaine. I think it's in the
Bourbon Romaine. I don't know what that is.
Years ago, when I worked for the biotech company, we went to Miami for a business meeting. We were getting bought by a big generics company.
Uh-huh.
My 25-cent stock was going to be worth $35, and all my stock was going to be worth about $2.5 million.
Oh shit!
So we go for a meeting. The patent attorney, the engineer guy, whatever. It's like 6 of us go to Miami. We get to the hotel. We've got a couple hours before they're picking us up for dinner in a limousine. Which, by the way, had broken air conditioning. Broken air conditioning in Miami is always like 1,000 fucking degrees with like 89,000% humidity. It was awful.
Of course.
So a guy named Romain Majewski, our head engineer, said, we got a couple hours. You want to go get a drink? I go, 100%. We enter the bar. We sidle up. We sit down. And he goes, what are you going to have? And I go, I don't know. What are you going to have? He goes, always have the same thing. I go, what is that? He goes, I don't have a name for it.
Oh.
But it's bourbon on the rocks.
Okay.
Angostura bitters.
Uh-huh.
Splash of ginger ale and a lime. I go, I'll have it.
Yeah. It's probably great.
It was so delicious.
Yeah.
So delicious. I couldn't stop drinking it. When I thought it was my first book came out, I guess not the first book. What?
It's a play on 2 different cocktails.
Kind of.
It's a play.
I put it in whatever book was coming out shortly after Romaine, his first name, passed away.
Oh.
I named it a Bourbon Romaine after him, in memoriam. He was 70. He went fishing on Big Bear Lake, which is a couple hours from here.
Yeah.
Annual fishing trip with 3 other guys, all between 69 and 71. 4 guys went fishing, night fishing.
Oh, God.
They never came back.
Any of them?
This is not like no, they all drowned.
How?
Nobody knows. They do not know. I'm not making this shit up either. It sounds like I'm making this up.
There's some shenanigans going on there.
Or there was drinking for sure, I'm guessing. And, maybe somebody tipped the boat and, and it was cold and they couldn't. They were older guys.
Were they in a canoe?
I don't know. I wasn't there. Let's just be sad for Romaine. The point is, this happened, but while I was working on whatever book it was, and when the book came out, or as I'm writing the book, I said, I got to put that in. And I named it after him. I called it a bourbon romaine. That's the best bourbon cocktail out there.
All right.
Let me just say it again.
Bourbon romaine.
Take a short glass, rocks glass, put ice in it. 2 parts of bourbon, 1 part ginger ale, couple good shakes of Angostura bitters, and a nice piece of lime.
Yeah.
Squeezed and then dropped in. Ooh. I hate it when a bartender or somebody making drinks puts a piece of fruit in there and doesn't squeeze it. If it's meant to be in, then squeeze the thing. Makes me so mad. Then I got to stick my fingers in a fucking glass.
Now,
come on.
Now I have 2 things I have to follow up on.
Okay.
First, I am going to believe that some kind of hijinks happened with those guys. That's weird. Number 2.
Well, I'm guessing, yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Did you cash out on all the stock and get the $2 million or whatever?
No, because...
What? I don't want to hear the rest of the story. Now I'm mad.
No. About 6 months later, Barry Toyonaga, the president of the company, comes to me and he goes, so this company that was buying us, he goes, they have a question about one of our patents. They were buying the company and therefore buying the
all
patents.
the IP.
Yeah, they have a question. I go, okay. You're not asking, come to me because I'm a patent guy. I know that. So what's going on? He goes, well, they're sending a guy out, one of their patent attorneys, to look at the papers, the book, the whole,
Yeah, sure.
Like right away. I go, okay, when's he coming? He goes, he's on a plane right now. He lands in like an hour and a half.
Oh.
I go, this is now like at 5 o'clock at night. Company's going to be closed. Your job, should you choose to accept it, I want you to pick him up from the airport.
Yeah.
I want you to bring him back here. I want you to get him whatever he needs. I wasn't a scientist, but I was a people person. He goes, I know you'll just treat him the right way,
right? Make
him comfortable. There's not going to be anybody here, but you and him. Put him in the little conference room, see what he needs. I go, great. I pick the guy up. The guy gets off the plane with like a little paper bag from the gift shop at the airport. They went to him and said, you're going to San Diego. He was from Chicago. Company was from Miami. Their attorneys were in Chicago. Guy goes from the company to the airport, gets a bag with toothpaste and deodorant or whatever, gets off the plane with his little bag. I drive him to the company. I put him in a little conference room. I go, what can I get you? He goes, some water and some coffee would be great. I go, excellent. I go, I'll come back and I'll check on you. So I'd walk by a big glass conference room, give him a little wave. He'd say, I'm good. Like, I'm okay. Finally, like an hour and a half later, I go in. Guy's looking down at the papers, got his glasses down, right? People can't see, but I've got my glasses pulled down a little bit, like I'm looking at some papers. And I go in, how's it going? And he lifts his head, looks over his glasses at me, and he goes, it doesn't look good. That's what he said. He left the next morning. And
no recap?
We were 3 days away from them announcing the purchase of this company. Yeah. They were a private company. Companies don't want to make an announcement about buying something and then go back on their word.
No shit.
So it died a slow death over the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I'm embarrassed to say I learned a lesson about counting chickens before they're hatched because it was like a gut punch to the stomach. Oh. Yes, it was a lot of money, but you should never count on stuff like that happening.
Yeah.
Until it happens. I always say, it ain't over till the fat lady sings is one thing, but she could be in the middle of singing and the chandelier comes down on her head in the middle of the stage.
Yeah.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings and you're in the car on the way home talking about how well she's sang.
Right.
Then it's over.
The ink is dried on the...
Kelly and I are sitting on the driveway. Kelly and I are sitting on the driveway 2 days after this happens. The deal dies. And she goes, I have to say something.
Crying.
I go, what? I go, what? She goes, I bought us a present. I go, what? She goes, well, we've always wanted a scooter, right? We couldn't afford a Vespa, right? We wanted like a moped.
Okay. Yeah.
We did, like for screwing around in the neighborhood. She goes, I bought one. I go, you did? And she goes, yeah, now we can't afford it. I go, where is it? She goes, it's in their garage. She points across the street. She goes, it's in their garage and you have to take it back. I can't do it.
Oh, no. Can you take it back after you? Oh, yes. Okay.
Well, nobody had driven it.
Yeah, but vehicles are weird like that. Like you can't buy a car. Correct.
Costco.
Correct. Yeah. I don't know if you bought it from a Tomos dealer.
Yeah, you want to hear this? I got a taking a car back story. Do you have time for it?
Sure.
Okay. We went and bought I think it was in a Isuzu Trooper years ago.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Oh, sure.
We go to the car dealership. We do the dance, make the deal. It's me and Kelly. The salesman goes, all right, I'm just going to go get it gassed up. Paperwork's finishing, and then you're on your way. I go, great. I'll come with you. I'll come. He's just going across the street to get gas. He'll tell me more things about the car. So we're standing there at the pump. He's putting gas in. And I say, how's it going today? You know, busy sales, all that kind of stuff. He goes, yeah, it's good. Good day. He goes, there's a guy in there that's been in my manager's office for about an hour. He's really trying to Jew him down. And for people that don't know, I'm Jewish. And I went, oh, okay. I just let it sit in my head. Finished, we get the car. Kelly and I are driving home. And I have to tell you something. So I tell her the story. We sit in silence till we get home, and we stew on this.
Oh,
I wake up the next
so
morning.
You told her what happened?
I told her what happened.
Yeah, okay.
Wake up the next morning, and I say, I'm taking the car back. She goes, I don't think you can do that. I go, watch me. I drive back to the dealership. Kelly follows me in her car, and I walk in. Salesman's there. He goes, how you doing? How's the car? I go, I need to see the manager. He goes, I think he's with somebody. I go, I need to see the manager. Nobody else. He goes, all right. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was. Guy comes out. He goes, would you like to come in? I go, yeah. He goes, what's up? I tell him what happened. He goes, what would you like to do? I go, I want my money back, and you're getting your car back. He goes, give me 5 minutes. I got my money back.
Yeah.
Or whatever little deposit I'd given him, and the car was no longer mine.
I wonder if it would have, like, where it was in the month. Because sometimes, like, at the end of the month, like, shit closes, and now you got to, like, undo done deals.
Here's what I think.
That becomes
Here's
great.
what I think.
Yeah.
I think it was in the racist part of the month, and the last thing that he wanted was me going in. I wasn't Sam the cooking guy, but all he needed was some
of course,
pissed guy going to the news and going, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what these guys are doing?
Tim Anti-Semite said,
that's right.
You know, somebody was there to Jew him down and blah, blah, blah. So just know who you're dealing with. Yeah. So with Becky's most recent car, we thought we were getting all-wheel drive. We had everything done. And she was in the car. I was in the other car to drive home. And then I don't know how it even came up. But I think she asked a question. There was somebody else there helping a new sales lady along. And he said, oh, that's only available in the all-wheel drive. And she said, well, this should be all-wheel drive. That's what we said we wanted. He's like, oh, no, this is front-wheel drive only. And we had been there for, a number of hours. When I go to buy a car, like, I know the game. I'm investing all day. Like, I know the deal. So she's like, that's it. I'm out of here. We had already been through financing, or, the finance guy signing all the paperwork and all that shit. And we came back in, and she said,
so was the car yours at that point?
It was technically ours. We had, like, if she would have put it in drive, like, we would have just left and went home. But just by asking one more question, it unraveled the whole deal. We went back in, and she said, look, we've been here for hours. This lady doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She's trying to put me in a different car when we said we wanted, the all-wheel drive version, and we're just done. So tear the paperwork up, give me my deposit back, and we're out of here. We're not coming back. Don't call me again. And, of course, sales lady calls me 2 hours later, and, they got a white one, blah, blah, blah. Let's make a deal. I said, oh, like, there's no chance we're coming back. In fact, we just bought a new Kia. After we left your place, we stopped at the Kia dealership, and we got a new Telluride sitting in the driveway, toots. So,
and we're happier.
That was it. Yeah, it was. We're happier. It's more loaded. It's less money. I mean, everything was better about it. Yeah, it's great. So, what Guinness World Record do you think that you could break in the future?
What a crazy ass question. I don't think I could break any world record. I'm too old.
No, I think you're not thinking the right way. I think my best shot at beating a Guinness World Record is trying to partner with a grilling company like Weber, let's say, and going to beat the world's biggest consumable hamburger. I had a guy, Ted Reeder from Canada, actually, had partnered with, I think, Napoleon many, many years ago, and eventually took that record over. It was like a 400-pound hamburger. It's on the internet somewhere. It was ridiculous. But the bun was real. The meat was real. It was all cooked on this super special made grill from Napoleon or whatever. And then they ate it. And he had the world record for any number. So I think if my best shot at a world record would be something like that.
You're right. I'm not thinking properly.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm too old. I just don't think I give a fuck. I don't even want to go into the Guinness Museum in Niagara Falls.
I heard that.
That's how little I care.
Sam, 100% yes or 100% no. You have already bought Meathead's new book, The Meathead Method.
Again, no. I'm not ordering Stephen Reichlein's. I don't really buy books, and I'm not getting Meatheads. It's out now. Is it out now?
Yeah. A couple weeks now.
Yeah.
Maybe
one book?
Going on a month? Yeah, one book.
Does it have a second?
It does not. It does not have a companion books that go along with it.
Companion book, yeah. Have you looked at it? What do you think? How's it look?
Funny enough, I also did not get a free copy.
Get that big stuff out of here.
You can believe it. I mean, I love to read as much as the next guy, but I'm not paying for barbecue books for people that I have on my show, for crying out loud. What about this one, Sam? 100% yes or 100% no? Adam Richman is a douche for saying that brioche bun is the worst option for hamburgers.
Yeah, I think so.
I
mean,
agree.
I don't know him. I look. Let's not. Maybe we don't call him a douche.
I'm not saying that he's a douche. I'm saying what he said was a douche comment.
It's a douchey comment. Why is that a terrible option? What does he have to have? Martin's potato roll? It's the only one in the world.
Brioche is not. Brioche is the worst bun for a burger.
I love a brioche. I love the little sweet that it gives. I love the texture. I love the whole. Yeah, that's a douchey comment.
I said Tuesday, I'm like, if you think the bun is a little wimpy, then toast it up a little bit. Give it a little structure, and you'll be much happier. I think it's the best bun for a hamburger.
I love it.
I said other things,
By
too.
the way,
I'm not going to retell.
We use them a lot when we do burgers because they look good. I like the way they look, too.
They got a nice sheen on the top.
They do, don't they?
Very delicious.
But I don't always use them, but I know it's a terrible comment. There's all kinds of things that would be worse.
One more pod deck question, and then I'm going to ask you what we should be having for dinner tomorrow night. Okay. Sam, if you could marry a fictional character, who would it be? These are great questions.
They're good questions. This little book of yours.
I have 4 decks.
God.
Can you believe it?
Can you just let me know a little bit in advance next time?
That takes the spontaneity away.
I know, but I'm not good at thinking on the spot for stuff like this. That's why I'd never be any good at those chopped food competition games.
Yeah.
People go, "Oh, you should go be in that." I go, "I can't think on the spot like that. I can't even answer Greg's dopey little card deck questions." Aunt Jemima. I know the food would be great.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yes. I want somebody that can cook.
Okay. I don't want somebody that can cook. I can cook. Fictional character for me, Jessica Rabbit. Maron.
I see where you're going with that.
That's right.
That's too obvious.
I thought it was pretty unique. I don't think a lot of people are pulling Jessica Rabbit out of their hat.
That's good. There you go.
Okay. Well, what do we need to be making for dinner tomorrow night, Sam?
Well, I think you can make what I'm going to make myself tonight. I'm having a coconut curry shrimp.
Coconut's the worst.
Vegetable. I love it. The coconut milk, so great.
I would eat an onion before coconut. How about that?
You would not.
I just told you I would.
I know what you said. I don't really believe it.
Oh, believe it. I would eat an onion.
I cooked a picanha for Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And I made little chimichurri. We had little brioche buns, Adam Richman. They were delicious.
Yeah.
Like little cheese. They were great. I also made ribs and with some other shit. but we did dogs, and I caramelized a shit ton of onion for the dogs.
Yeah.
And ended up using it on my little picanha roll things too.
But it was delicious.
So good.
But it was delicious.
Yes. You would eat onions.
I would eat onions before.
Onion hater before coconut anything?
Yes. Before coconut.
Dried coconut?
Fuck it. I'll eat an onion. Yeah. I made onions. I slow caramelized onions on the Weber slate on Memorial Day because we were having a smash burger party because I love smash burgers and everybody wanted smash burgers. So we had a whole shitload that I cooked in advance. Very slow.
But you got to cook a
slate.
lot if you want a little bit.
No doubt. So we cooked like 6 or 7 onions.
Giant ones.
Yeah. And a lot of butter down, and then the onions down, put the lid on top, and just let them go 45 minutes, an hour, or whatever it was. Yeah. And then, scooped them off, and then quickly, the smash burgers come together, of course, with brioche buns. And, everybody plopped a little caramelized onion on the smash burger, and they were very happy with that. Not me.
Love it.
Yeah.
No coconut for you. No pina colada. Forget it.
No.
Coconut milk.
Well,
so this will be onions, vegetables, softened in a pot, garlic, a ginger, then some chicken broth, some coconut milk, some sriracha. The whole thing will bubble away. It'll thicken a little bit. But 5 minutes from the end, dump in a bunch of raw peeled shrimp. Let them finish. Throw a little cilantro in right at the very end. Serve it on rice. That's my dinner tonight.
Sounds tremendous.
It's going to be great. And
all right.
You would be missing out.
Well, I could just leave that ingredient out and cook the rest.
So I know what to do.
So
I know what to do. If you ever come over, I will serve 2 things. One will be coconut milk, and the other one will be onions.
Yeah. Well,
have your pick.
Look, I would probably drink the coconut milk. I definitely don't want to eat any coconut.
No meat.
Want to eat coconut meat? No, this is gross. So between eating onion meat and coconut meat, I'll choose the onion. Under protest, but I'll choose the onion.
You're insane.
Yeah.
You're insane. Let's just recap one thing, shall we, before we go?
I'm insane.
Close your eyes. Think of where you are right now.
Yes.
You're sitting on a beach in the Bahamas.
Yes.
You're in a lounger.
Yes.
It rained 5 minutes earlier in the day. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful sunset.
Yes.
You're who's going?
My wife.
Just you two?
Yeah. Fuck those
you
kids.
and the Baxter.
That's right.
Isn't it great? You're right.
We were in Florida with them in March. So
love you.
Yeah.
Don't need to see you all the time. Yeah. You and Beck sitting there having a beautiful time, having a sunset drink.
Yeah.
And thinking about which restaurant we're going to for dinner.
Nobu, probably, that night.
By the way, and if there's a little rain that accompanies it, you're still away.
That's right.
Without the kids, going to Nobu.
Sam, you're the greatest for sitting down in advance and letting our listeners enjoy some brand new content, even though we're pre-recording. But hopefully, fans, you've enjoyed this Thursday visit with Sam the Cooking Guy and myself. You can go to thecookingguy.com for pretty much everything. If you want accoutrement, knives, I recommend the knives. They're just the best. ShopSTCG.com. And
I don't want to talk about the knives.
We don't?
No, tariff time.
Oh. Well, we'll save that for July as well. How about that? So we got a new book talk. We have a infomercial talk, and we have tariff talk.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
Got it.
Sam, always appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy. See ya.
And there's Sam the Cooking Guy. All right, so extended time with Sam the Cooking Guy. Hope you enjoyed that on your Thursday bonus. Before we get out of here, we talked to you about Primo Grills. I used it just this past weekend. Well, I used it on Memorial Day. I should say it like that. Well, but you know that because there was a show on Tuesday, of course, right? Yeah, come on. Anyway, Primo Grills is a ceramic cooker. Primo Grills offers all of the great things that you love about ceramic cookers. Fuel efficiency, ability to retain heat, running on a load of charcoal for days on end, depending on what kind of an environment you're in. All the great stuff, except it's oval, so it also gives you the ability to execute a true 2-zone fire. Loved by both professional cooks and by backyarders. The easiest way to cook with confidence and manage a fire. And that game-changing oval design gives you the real ability to do that, because doing it in a round cooker is a bit of a nonsensical thought. It's round. Oval changes the game. Lots of accessories, only sold through dealers. PrimoGrill.com is the website. That's PrimoGrill.com. Also follow them on the Facebooks and the Instas, because that's what we do. And we'll be back to wrap the show up right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
And we thank Sam the Cooking Guy once again for joining us. TheCookingGuy.com for pretty much everything. If you want to buy stuff, shop STCG.com. A great visit. And we're going to be out in under an hour. Just shy of an hour. So let's go ahead and do that. I thank again our pal Sam the Cooking Guy. This is new to you content on this Thursday, which is someday in June at this point. Hopefully you enjoyed Malcolm's segment yesterday and you enjoyed Sam's segment here today. We'll see him back in July. We'll see both back in July. Why not? Halfway through the year, if you can believe it or not. 2025 rapidly coming to a close. I will enjoy my time in the Bahamas for the rest of the week. That's what I'm doing, and while I'm not doing it live. And then we'll rejoin next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until the aforementioned next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American Greg Rempe saying, Shalom!
This is Dion Blumenrader with Big Hoss One Sauce, and you're listening to the best show on all things barbecue with my man, Greg Rempe.